I'm just telling titles. Shut the hell up, man. I don't want to hear this.
I don't care about the title.
Hello, world, and welcome back to Gridiron Campbell, the only podcast that puts its money where its mouth is. I'm your host, Rich Ryan, and I'm joined by the entire collective, The Disciple, Brett Colson, Donnie, DP Peters, and the resident moose himself, Mo Nawara. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Listeners, rate and review on your podcatcher of choice. 5 stars only, like Jackson Smith in Jigba, who is currently playing with the Seattle Seahawks as we record against the Dallas Cowboys, about to try and tie the game, but it's wide right, and the Cowboys remain up 3 points in the first frame. Apologies for no show last week. Just didn't work out. Everyone had family stuff. It's Thanksgiving. I think in the future, what we should do, fellas, is no matter what, we should just record something Monday, Tuesday, even if it's just leans, even if it's just takes, because folks are traveling on Tuesday, Wednesday, going to their destination. So I'm sure there are as many people that come to us for entertainment purposes and to hear us call each other idiots as there are people that come to us for actual football advice. So maybe that's something.
Well,
go for it.
We usually do Drunkcast Wednesday. I couldn't make
and dusted now.
How
many of you were consuming multiple beverages that Wednesday night? I can't raise my hand. I'm dusty. I'm just a dusty guy.
I had more to drink on Thanksgiving than Wednesday night when everyone's wasted.
Yeah, I've given up drinking, so.
Oh, Donald.
I haven't had a drink in like 2 years.
You're like a drink,
I'm
like
done.
A glass of wine.
Brother-in-law handed me a glass of wine at last year's Christmas Eve, and I didn't drink it. But because he had already cracked the bottle, I walked around with it and acted like I was drinking it. Thankfully, he doesn't listen to this podcast, or he'd get pretty mad at me.
Wow. But you're back to actually eating food, right? We've got chicken on the plate and stuff, right?
Yeah. Back to eating
What?
meat. Back to eating meat.
Yeah. No more pescatarian life for DP.
Didn't we discuss this at the pizza festival or something?
Yeah,
like
he was literally chowing down on pepperoni, like right in front of your face.
I was too busy stuffing my own face to worry about what anyone else was eating, all right?
Well, if it were up to me, I would continue the friendly banter about eating habits and pepperoni and the such, because we might sound like a broken record at this point, but this week sucks. Me personally, I don't have a single side in my account here in the great free state of Florida on Hard Rock Bet. I literally just have totals and team totals. So I'm leaning on you guys this week. I just picked some devil sides. There's one fish side that I have, which happened to actually be my pick. So great. But all the other things that I clicked were mostly devil sides. We only have one consensus pick this week. So that is an indication of where things stand within the collective. And we'll start with the split games as always, where there are 2 hosts on one side and 2 hosts on the other. And we start with a sounder game as the Arizona Cardinals travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. This was a look ahead of Steelers minus 3.5, opened 4, and the Steelers are all the way up to minus 5.5 in the contest. But that is not deterring Minotti, who has top 5 in his top 5, buying all the way in on Kenny Pickett and them boys after Matt Canada got shit canned and this offense seemingly got right immediately last week with 400 total yards. Brett, tell us why you're on Pittsburgh.
I will continue to fade this Cardinals team until the market adjusts for how bad they are. This number to me does not bake in the ineptitude of this defense, especially now combined with the injuries piling up for Kyler Murray on offense. Marquise Brown has not practiced. Michael Wilson's banged up. Trey McBride dealing with injuries. Can Kyler capitalize on the deficiencies in this Steelers secondary? I don't think so. I like Pittsburgh to roll here. Yes, we're asking the Steelers to cover 5.5 when they struggled putting points on the board all year. And no, we don't love laying big numbers when the success of offense is likely going to come on the ground. But I still think Jalen Warren and Najee are going to be they're going to shred this week. Look what Kyron Williams did to this defense last week. And especially early in the game too, which could open up splash play opportunities for Pickett, who now has his full arsenal of weapons. I don't think the Steelers are good, but the Cardinals are one small step above the Patriots and the Giants, and the Steelers should be laying at least 6 against that tier of football team. So I love the Steelers in this spot.
I have Steelers as well. I think this is Steelers or nothing, but I have it extremely low, and I'm granting that I might have some bias creeping in because I had Real American Dollars on the Cardinals last week, and I watched every second of that game, and they were absolutely horrifying. The thing that puzzled me the most watching the Cardinals last week is it didn't look like Kyler was running much, and I don't know if that's injury related, him coming back and first couple games feeling spry and now just not having his legs underneath him. But I think that was the most confusing thing about that Cardinals offense, is that they weren't utilizing Kyler on the ground as much as they should. But I'm not very confident in this game. Somebody who is confident in this game is Mo Nuwara, who's got the points. I heard him talk about this on Beat the Closing Number over on the lines with our good friend Eli Hershkovitz, where he touted the Cardinals as well. Mo, talk about those desert birds.
Are you trying to troll me right now? I put this on literally the bottom of my card.
Sorry.
Maybe
I thought you had this high.
One up from the bottom.
Sorry. Oh, no.
Well, it's all because of those injuries.
There's somebody else. There's somebody else who loves the Cardinals.
I have it in my notes right here. It literally says Brett versus DP, and I did that whole soliloquy.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals initially, but dude, those receiver injuries are what? I don't know. What are they going to do? Throw to Trey McBride 20 times? But at the same time,
yes.
I can't lay that many points with Kenny Pickett. I just can't do it.
I was just trying to shoehorn the beat the closing number shout there. A little synergy action. See, Brett's loving it. But it is DP who is high on Zona, so talk about it, DP.
I mean, I'm not laying 5.5 points with this Steelers team. They don't have the ability on offense to stretch out a lead and hold that lead. I don't see it. Yeah, they put up 400 yards last week. How many points did they score? Against a bad Bengals defense. So everyone's just like, oh, they fired Matt Canada. They had 400 yards. They could only score 16 points. And it was against a shitty Bengals defense. Okay? So now everyone's just going to jump on in. Get on the bandwagon. Let's go. That's not how this works out. Okay? Sell the Steelers right now. Sell them. Yeah, they have a good pass rush up front. Okay? Kyler is extremely mobile. Completely can maneuver around and help mitigate that pass rush on the Steelers. I think this is fine here. This is way too many points. This is one of the sides that I do have in my account. Rich has none. I have one. But I was able to get the 6 early in the week. Still got that. Now it's down to 5.5. I don't see how the Steelers are laying 5.5 against anyone in the NFL. Anyone. I don't care.
What if they're throwing to Greg Dortch every play?
Jets legend.
I don't care who they're throwing to. Throw it to Greg Dortch. Throw it to Trey McBride. Do whatever you want.
Greg Dortch scored a touchdown.
The Steelers are going to do what? Cover 5.5, scoring 17 points? Have fun with that, guys. Have a lot of fun with that.
Greg Dortch scored a touchdown last week, down 30, and then did the short guy thing. Like, bro, you're down multiple touchdowns.
That was because he knows he's 5'7", though, right?
Fantastic. Speaking of those fighting New York Jets. They play host to the Dirty Birds. The Atlanta Falcons travel to MetLife Stadium to take on Gang Green in a game where the Falcons were 1.5 point favorites on the look ahead, opened 2.5. I'm still seeing 2.5, but Circa is predicting a 0.5 point move, putting 2 in the contest. And boys and girls, this is the easiest cap of the week. The New York Jets are playing a professional football game in which they're not getting double digits. So you immediately take the other side and put them as high as you can in your top 5. Brett, you're shaking.
Because the Falcons are laying points on the road.
It doesn't matter.
That's the number
Desmond Ritter, points
matter.
on the road, outdoors, chance of rain, Jets defense. Dude, get out of here with this.
I know we were all in a tryptophan phase on Friday and probably not paying attention to what happened in that game. But the Jets were completely inept once again, because that's what the Jets do. Tim Boyle. So Zach Wilson is one of the worst quarterbacks to ever suit up and throw the ball in the league. Tim Boyle is worse than him. guys. He's a statue, and he can't throw a football. How is this guy in the league? Like, you look at his numbers at UConn. How did somebody?
That was literally my cap.
How did somebody put him on his roster? How has he been on multiple teams? How are you guys even
capping this game? You just look at the number, and if the Jets aren't literally getting 7, I'm not clicking on the Jets. And that's if they're playing a bad team.
I think there might be 10 points scored in this game. So I'm taking the home dog.
That's what I'm getting at,
7-3.
If you guys are clicking on
until
the Jets,
Desmond Ridder throws 3 interceptions. Come on, man.
You guys are literally betting that the final score will be like 7-6. Because that's the only way the Jets can cover.
Well within the range of outcomes here, Mo. Well within the range of outcomes here.
Stop. We all know that offense can beat defense, right? What Bijan could cover this by himself, I think.
Guys, yeah, I'm not exaggerating when I say you guys are just capping like Tim Boyle as a regular backup. Tim Boyle he might be the worst quarterback in NFL history.
No, I'm not. I will be the first to tell you, Tim Boyle sucks. That guy is horrific, okay?
Oh, but this is like
Desmond Ridder on the road, outdoors against the Jeff defense.
But this is rule of outliers. The computers cannot regress enough for how bad Tim Boyle is. Like, they're trying. They're pushing themselves to their limit.
This is literally a troll by Robert Saleh, because everyone on planet Earth, okay, I'm just some idiot in Nebraska sitting on my couch, and I can promise you, I would bet my life savings, every crypto, every penny I have, that Zach Wilson is a better quarterback than Tim Boyle. It's not even close. Okay, I know it. That means everyone in the Jets building knows it. They're literally doing this to punish Zach Wilson for sucking and just trolling humanity. That's what's happening, you guys.
Do you lose the locker room when you do this, though? Like that, a couple weeks ago, Rich said the Jets defense was going to quit. Have they quit?
If you
is it over?
And then 2 days ago, he was in the chat saying they're generational.
Well,
Rich,
they are
pick a damn side.
They are
okay.
Generational.
Decide what you want.
They're definitely generational. But if you look at it, so the biggest thing was since Al Woods went down, the run defense has kind of gone to shit.
Yeah.
And then everything else has kind of fallen after it. This team was top 3 in every major defensive category, top 5 probably. Top 3 might be a stretch. And now they're like sliding to the bottom of the top 10. And the schedule has gotten easier. Like, they were doing all this great stuff against the Chiefs and the Eagles and the Bills before they were a MASH unit. Now they're playing a bunch of idiots and the Dolphins, and they're looking worse. Like, they're playing the Raiders and having yards marched on them. The Chargers on the road marching against them. So I don't know where this team is going right now. And to be honest, the absolute right move is to play Simeon, because Simeon is actually like your run-of-the-mill bad backup quarterback, whereas these other guys are just not supposed to be in the league. They're supposed to be playing on the Battlehawks. They're supposed to be up in the CFL playing on the Rough Riders. Like, they cannot be in pro football. Brett, are we convincing you?
Yeah. I mean, I think I just clicked Jets because nobody else in the contest will.
The Falcons will 100% be one of the top 5 most popular sides this week.
But the ticket count is in the Jets' favor. That's one of the ones where I'm like,
to me.
What are these numbers? I need someone to show me the tickets.
Yeah.
Like, show me a stack of tickets, a bet on the Jets. I don't believe anybody's betting on the Jets.
All right, let's move to...
I am, and I already did.
Jets
I have +3
in the account. My goodness. I have to play it one more time for that. We move to the City of Angels, where the Rams play host to the Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns. This was Rams -1 on the look ahead. It went all the way up to 5.5 in real life. Circa is hanging 3.5 where it's come down to. And I absolutely love the Los Angeles Rams in this spot. If you guys don't... Okay, so we know for a fact, this is just like the Jets. We know for a fact PJ Walker is awful. We know for a fact that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is awful. And everybody is trying to get excited about a veteran quarterback that could come in and just play mistake-free football. But as somebody who watched every snap of Joe Flacco last year, including week 18 in person, where the Jets for the, I think, 4th game in a row couldn't score an offensive touchdown, this guy is so checked out. He is going to go back there, check down every single play. He's not going to let anybody touch him. He's going to look like Justin Fields, 8 out of 1. Check down Charlie, go 25 of 31 for 120 yards, and the Rams are going to win this game by 2 touchdowns because the Browns will not be able to put the ball in the end zone. The Rams are going to absolutely roll in this spot. The good defense.
You just told me you don't have anything in your account. Why don't you have Rams minus 3.5 in your account?
I know, because I'm waiting for this. I know it's going to get to a flat 3. That's why. I know it's going to get there. The plus 3.5 is juiced. All these
if
fake
they're
sharps.
Gonna roll, just fucking put it in, bro. Like, what are you waiting for?
Well,
With what you just said, you were standing on a table that they're going to win by 40.
Yeah, I mean, I
Put
should
the 3.5 in your account. You should have the alternates in your account. What do you do?
Higher money line. Why not?
I should be Rams. I should probably Rams
every
ladder.
Single angle.
I should Rams ladder because I think they're just going to smoke this team. The Rams are what I saw last week. Again, I watched too many snaps of this game, but with Kyron Williams, this is exactly what McVay wants this team to look like on offense. They want to sit in 11. They want to be multiple on every snap, and they want to be able to run or pass on every single down. And that puts a lot of stress even on a really good defense that is Cleveland. Stafford looks healthy. This offense is cooking. Kupp isn't even looking good at this point, and this offense is still rolling. And I'm just going to say it until I'm blue in the face. The good defense, bad offense team is a bad team, especially on the road. And I know it's Los Angeles. It's not technically a road game. There's not going to be a raucous crowd. But they've just spent 2 weeks on the West Coast. Like, I bet you Myles Garrett, who left that game in a sling, wishes he was in his own bed this week as opposed to being on the road.
Isn't that a good thing? Hold on. We're punishing teams for not traveling, flying around back and forth?
I get that, but I think they would be much happier at home. Let's put it that way. This would be a much different game if it was played in Cleveland than if it was in Los Angeles. So, love the Rams. Who is the highest opposing me? It is DP, who is on Cleveland. Tell me why.
I mean, how do you slow down the Rams? You get after Mr. Matthew Stafford, and this defense can certainly do that. Listen, I'm not going to be one of those people that sits here and gets all excited about Joe Flacco. I have absolutely no effing idea what to expect from Joe Flacco. I mean, but the bar is pretty low. Let's be honest here. DTR is horrific. PJ Tucker is horrific. Or PJ Walker, sorry. PJ Tucker, yeah. Out here rebounding in the NFL. At least he'd have nice shoes on. But
I was going to make a shoe joke. You beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
PJ Tucker might be better than PJ Walker.
he might be, okay? He might be. So I have no idea what to expect from Joe Flacco. Who the hell knows? This is a defense for the Browns against the Rams play. I will say I don't like it as much as 3.5, so I had to tick it down a bit. This is one of the ones I got very early in the week. I got the 5.5 early on, so I'm happy there. But now that it's come back down to earth a little bit, I don't think the Flacco thing is really going to do anything. I mean, PJ Walker, Joe Flacco, if DTR somehow comes out of the concussion thing, who cares? I mean, I don't care. Whatever. That's all the same crap to me.
PJ Walker is going to start. Why are we pretending like
Joe Flacco? What are you talking about? They just announced that Joe Flacco is number 2 on the depth chart behind DTR. So if DTR doesn't go, it's Flacco. That's what they announced today. So unless they're playing games, that's what they all said. I mean, that's from Rappaport. That's from everyone. They certainly could be. I mean, don't get me wrong, but this is defense. This is Brown's defensive line. This is Myles Garrett. This is getting after Matthew Stafford, who, when he's under pressure, cannot function. Like, he just can't do it. So that's what I'm betting on here.
At what % is Myles Garrett going to be, though?
That's the big
question. Okay, you want to talk about playing games. If you look at the injury report, it says not injury related plus shoulder, Like it's like everything. Like, how is it not injury related rest, but also plus shoulder? Like, so is it an injury or is it not an injury? What's happening here?
Also, for those that are uninitiated, there is a beat reporter named Mary Kay Cabot who is 100% a mouthpiece for the organization. And she tweets this video of Myles Garrett doing push-ups on a medicine ball. And she makes sure to spell out, doesn't look like he's laboring on his shoulder. Like, she's gotten so much wrong this year because the team just feeds her misinformation and she just tweets it like it's word is bomb. And it's actually insane. Like that she continues to do it. It's crazy. Give me the Rams. Another split game, Bengals at Jags. After the Jake Browning experience last week, this one went from a look ahead of 6.5 to 8.5 in favor of the Jaguars. This is a double roar game. And I am the highest on this game, and it is 100% just narrative. I think the Jaguars, in a primetime spot where, let's face it, how many home primetime games do the Jacksonville Jaguars have? I think they're just going to go out and score 30 or 40 points on this horrific Bengals defense and just have a party in Duval on Monday night. It's just 100% narrative driven. I keep, you know what's funny? I kept saying the Zay Jones thing.
Where do you party at in Duval on Monday night? Like where's the spot?
Like the Radisson or something. Something extreme.
I've been to Jacksonville, and let me tell you, we couldn't find it.
Yeah. I kept joking. I wasn't joking. I kept saying that I thought Zay Jones was the key to this offense, and all I've seen the last 2 weeks are Calvin Ridley splits with and without Zay Jones, and how Calvin Ridley's just absolutely elite when Zay Jones plays. This team, again, they just want to live in 11 every single snap, and without Zay Jones, it doesn't allow them to do that. And with Zay Jones, they crush. And I think this Bengals team, I think last week they showed a spirited effort in a division game. You know, rally around the backup quarterback, but I think they're quickly getting to a state where there's absolutely nothing to play for, and they might just get their doors blown all the way off. Mo, you looked at me very skeptical there.
Yeah, did they show a spirited effort? I mean, they allowed 400 yards to the Steelers. I clicked on the Jags too because I'm like, the Bengals might have gave up on the season.
Yeah,
they
that's what
actually might have just called it a season.
This might be 1, 2, 3 Cancun. DP once again the highest in opposition of me on Cincy.
I'm not that high. I mean, I am fully. I believe in a lot of what you said with that argument. And like Mo, I kind of feel like the Bengals could just have gone home for the season. You see your guy, Joe Burrow, is done for the year, and you're just like, all right, F it. Like, let's just get out of here. Like, what are we doing? I mean, that said, I don't know. Maybe this is just a buy low, sell high type of thing. Jaguars have been a little bit hot, scoring some points. Bengals, of course, without Burrow now. Defense isn't that good. I don't know. I guess just unpopular side, kind of disgusting. I'll take the 8.5 and just move along. But I really can't, rebut a lot of what you guys said.
Lions at Saints. The Lions coming off of that pasting by the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving. But their advantage, or at least their spread here, has grown because of injuries on New Orleans. This was Detroit -3 on the look ahead. It is now 4.5 in the contest. And Mo has the highest opinion on this game on those Detroit Lions. Rule of Mo, look at the injury report. Who is playing receiver for New Orleans? This is as bad as it gets, Mo. And a team coming off extra rest that was just embarrassed. A lot of things pointing in the Lions' direction this week.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it all year, Rich. I mean, Derek Carr doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body. Like I said, I fear for any fantasy team facing Alvin Kamara this week. He might have 20 targets. Guys.
15 catches for 40 yards incoming.
I mean, he's only going to gain 80 yards, but he might have 20 targets. Like, you have a quarterback who refuses to push the ball downfield. and now he has nobody to throw to. Do you guys realize who the Saints closed the last game with at receiver? Something called A.T. Perry.
A.T. Perry.
I believe he was a 6th round pick. Something called Kirkwood. I don't know who that is.
He played last year too.
And then Lynn Bowden, who I think has been a running back in the past.
Yeah, didn't the Raiders take him in the first round and then like immediately ship him off to Miami?
I think he was like a 3rd rounder or something. But yeah. I can tell you that he played running back in college. These were their receivers on the football field, guys. And one thing I know is you might be able to survive with these guys in some situations. Maybe you can win a low-scoring game, whatever. Okay, that's not going to work against the Lions. I know the Lions are going to score some points here. I don't know if they're going to blow the doors off the Saints defense, which has been good at times. But then again, maybe no Marcus May, maybe no Cameron Jordan. Like, I don't know, man. There's injuries on that side of the ball too for the Saints. Trust me when I say that I want the Saints to win this game because I fired Saints division like a month ago. But guys, this could be an all-time mash unit with a quarterback who is the biggest nit on the planet, dude. How can you keep up with the Lions dumping off to Kamara? Somebody explain it to me. They're giving us an ugly number here, which actually might make this a good contest play because I think it's 4 across the board in real life. But if you told me this line should be 7, I might believe you. I don't know what's going to happen with Chris Olave, but he might be the most important non-quarterback to the injury report this entire week, okay? Because the rest of this is that bad for the Saints.
You're not going to get an ounce of resistance from the collective. I am the highest on New Orleans, and quite literally the only reason I collect it is because it's the absolute devil side. Because everybody is seeing exactly what you're seeing. 84% of the tickets are on the Lions, and I don't think there's very many souls in this entire contest that are going to enter a lineup with the New Orleans Saints. So we can move on to another game, this one featuring 2 NFC South teams. The Carolina Panthers travel to Western Florida to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are -5.5 on the look ahead. It's -5 in the contest. Everybody gets shit canned in Charlotte. Reich, Cade, Deuce Staley. So you got Tepper up there saying that everybody was all in on something, Bryce. And my guy, Brett Colson, is all in on the dead cat bounce with the Carolina Panthers. The deadest of cats.
I know. I had the Bucs at the top of my card the past 2 weeks. And they went up in flames both times. Normally, I would not be afraid to fire again here and capitalize on some of the, maybe there's some market overreaction. But there are some hugely concerning things happening here for Tampa. One is the injury to Baker Mayfield. You could see how the ankle was affecting him last week after he injured it in the first quarter. That combined with the Chris Godwin injury. Also, Chris Godwin has just been god-awful this year. He does not look like the Chris Godwin of a couple of years ago. These receivers have been pitiful. So I think you combine that with the Baker injury right now. I think the Bucs are going to struggle to score points in this spot. And Bryce Young actually has a chance to shine here against one of the worst pass defenses in the league. I kind of love the Panthers in this spot.
I made a stupid bet. I bet Bucs team total under. I should have just bet the under in the game. My galaxy brain was like, I'm reducing variance by if Carolina somehow gets a defensive touchdown or something, if Baker throws the absolute backbreaker, or if Trask comes in, if Baker gets hurt. I should have just fired the under in this game because I think this is just going to be a game of total ineptitude from both of these teams. With all these injuries on Tampa, I mean, Tampa's whole defense is hurt. Jamel Dean, Levante David, Devin White. But can Carolina really take advantage of that, or will they just move the ball a little bit and maybe then kick some field goals? So
it's like Texans game all over again.
Yeah. So I don't think there's going to be much in this game. So I actually like under in the contest, and I wish I fired that instead of Bucs under. Ugly game. I don't think Red Zone will be showing much of this contest come Sunday. All right. Those are the split games. We'll take a short break. Then it's time for some Lone Wolves. Mo and I both have a pair of Lone Wolves. Brett has one. DP has none. And we'll start things off with your boy, who evidently has the most fish side of the week, because I believe you guys all have the other team in your top 5. I'm laying the 5.5 with Mo's Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Lambeau to take on the Green Bay Packers. You guys can have your fun buying Jordan Love off literally the best game of his career in front of the entire world on Thanksgiving. I'm happy to sell it, and I'm happy to buy a Kansas City defense that I think can give this Green Bay offense a ton of fits. Some ugly weather for this game, cold, maybe some freezing rain. And I'm just buying into a Chiefs team that everybody is spilling over themselves to try to sell, to try to reduce in power rankings, put them below boring ass teams like the Eagles, as if this Chiefs team isn't just a sleeping giant. Rashee Rice is coming online, really coming into his own. I think the Chiefs have a chance to roll here. I don't love it. This isn't anywhere near my top 5. It's actually quite low. But I'm selling the Packers off of that win and taking the best team in the league at a number short of the look ahead. Who was the highest on the Green Bay Packers? It looks like it was Mo himself, who will be present for this game. Correct, Mo?
Yes, very excited. I hope the weather is as bad as you say. I want the full Lambeau experience. I want it to be worse than that Bills-Patriots game we all went to. That was
I don't know how that's possible.
Not possible.
Legendary. This is just a game that comes down to one matchup to me, and that's just, you hinted at it a little bit, Rich, but it's just Green Bay up front. Can they block these Chiefs blitzes? It's Steve Spagnuolo, the mastermind, the greatest, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, bringing all of his exotic blitzes to bear against a quarterback who absolutely stinks under pressure, but is very, very good at times if you do give him a good pocket, which we saw multiple times against the Lions. I don't think the market is really giving this Green Bay team the credit it deserves. The last few weeks, they are playing much, much better since the offensive line got healthier. I think it's real. I think this offense is legitimately solid. I think Green Bay is overall a pretty solid team, and I'm willing to take points, even though it's not as good of a line as I'm hoping that keeps a few people off it. But like you said, Rich, everyone is lining up to take the Packers. I mean, the market has been so hot for the Packers this week. I knew last week when I wrote the look ahead article that +7 was a ridiculous line. I love the Chiefs. I have all the respect in the world for this team, but they should not have been laying 7 at Green Bay. This is a pretty solid team. So with that extra time to prepare for Spags' blitzes, I'm hoping that, at least for my bets, that they can get enough protection around Love, because if they do, I think he can find some people. They have enough weapons, man. As long as Jaden Reed is fine, and I saw he missed practice yesterday. I didn't see if he went today or not, but
he did
as long as they get these guys on the field, Wicks is back. That could help. I mean, that guy's been pretty decent for them. So yeah, I think this Green Bay offense is coalescing into something pretty solid, man. Like, the defense could be getting reinforcements as well. I think this should be a close game. And you could tell me this line could be 4, and I would believe you. I think the Chiefs, there's no way the Chiefs should ever be laying double digits against the Packers. And that this line is basically saying they should be at home. And I just don't buy that. It's too much for me still.
Jaden Reed did miss again today. A couple weeks ago, Luke Musgrave lacerated his kidney, so he's on IR. They've had some other big white out there at tight end romping around. The one other note that I wanted to make that I forgot to bring up is that there's some pretty insane zone versus man splits for Jordan Love And last week, for whatever reason, the Lions switched from man to zone and got absolutely carved. You watch a couple of weeks ago against the Steelers, a traditional zone team. That's when Jordan Love kind of started his march. Chiefs are a very heavy man team because they blitz so much. They put their corners on an island because they trust McDuffie and those guys in the back, and they've been doing a fantastic.
A bad defense, according to PFF.
It's unbelievable that they have them ranked 22nd. But these Chiefs corners can do it, and it's going to put some pressure on Love. Not just literally when players are bearing down on him, but throwing into some tighter windows as opposed to picking apart zone. So I think we could see some reversion from Jordan Love to the guy that is making a couple of mistakes. I was wrong. Brett had them slightly outside his top 5, but DP, you too have Green Bay in your top 5, so put a pin in this contest.
I agree with everything Mo said. What I'll add is we're going to get some sleepy Chiefs looking ahead to the Buffalo Bills next week.
I mean, that's not even a look-ahead spot anymore. The Bills are dead men walking.
What if the Packers are better than the Bills?
Stop it. You guys are... Stop.
Come on. You know the whole narrative of the game and all that happened before when it was, that craziness in the last 2 minutes, all that sort of stuff. Come on. These Chiefs are idiots. They for sure look ahead. Everyone but Mahomes for sure looks ahead.
My other lone wolf, the Colts travel to Tennessee. Indy was a 1-point dog on the look ahead. They are 1-point favorites in Circa. And I was forced to pick this game. So I made a pick, and I picked the quarterback who I think is a little bit better in Gardner Minshew as opposed to Will Levis.
Two quarterbacks you absolutely
despise
hate.
These two guys. They just turnover machines.
Did you watch Gardner Minshew last week?
Yeah, he was awful. But so was Will Levis. Will Levis has been awful every single time he's suited up to play pro football. I think the Vrabel voodoo is running out a bit. I don't care about this game in any way, shape, or form. So I need to pass it to whomever had a big opinion on this game. And once again, it's DP, who loves Mike Vrabel and them boys this week.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can't back this Colts team, especially as a road favorite. I know it's only one, but still, divisional spot here. I'm trying to fade this Colts team, I think, at every chance I can get, and it just, for whatever reason, doesn't work out for me. Jonathan Taylor's out, and I know, the whole...
Join the club, buddy. I'm 3 weeks in a row or something.
Well, yeah, how frustrating is it? Because they look horrible every stupid week. It's so ridiculous. Last week, Gardner Minshew's throwing, every pass is almost a pick. It's unbelievable.
He threw 2 picks, and he maybe should have thrown 5.
It was unbelievable. So, I mean, there's that whole aspect of it. I mean, I don't see that much of a difference between Gardner Minshew and Will Levis, and I know Will Levis has not been great, of course, but what I think benefits him or is less of a problem for him is that the Titans have a weak offensive line. It's been an issue for them, but the Colts, what are the Colts going to do? I mean, come on. You can move the ball against the Colts. I mean, let's be real. The Colts, the defense does not scare me at all. So yeah, I think overall, I'm going to do, Brett talked about it earlier, he can't keep buying the Bucs. I'm going to keep fighting against the Colts, and I'm just going to keep doing it. I know Steichen's been good out there. I'm
good.
not,
this guy might be doing the best coaching job in the league.
I was going to say, I think this is better coached by the quarterback.
I'm impressed by him, but the Colts have won 3 straight games, and 2 of them were against the Patriots and the Panthers. And the other one was against the Bucs when Baker Mayfield was looking like an idiot the whole game. So,
they should have lost to the Patriots, and they got 3 yards per play against the Panthers.
How are you going to make the Colts a road favorite in today's NFL, and this is a divisional spot? I mean, this seems insane to me.
Brett doing a lot of nodding, and that's because you two have Tennessee in your top 5. Tell us why.
Yeah, this number's telling me that the Colts are a few points better than the Titans, and I can't get there. The Colts are awful, and now you take away their game breaker at running back. More passing reliance from Minshew is a downgrade for this offense. And you look at this injury report. I mean, the Titans are one of the healthiest teams in the NFL right now. This is their roster. So I think this is a wrong team favored. Definitely, I think the Titans should be favored.
What is the line going to be for Colts at Dolphins round 1 of the playoffs, guys?
11.5.
12.5. Yeah, I'm just like, what? This is going to be.
Can't wait. All right, we move over to the Lone Star State where Broncos country, Le Ride, travel to Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans were -3 on the look ahead and have crept up to -3.5, laying the hook. CJ Stroud and the Stroud boys. And Mo is the only person laying the wood with Houston in this spot. Tell us why, Mo.
This is very simple for me. First of all, I want to say that I had like a 10-game coin flip tier or whatever it was, but this was near the top of it because I do lean Houston and think this is just a tad lower than the line should be. Guys, Denver is winning games with one very simple formula. Do nothing exciting or productive on offense and wait for the other team to hand you the game. Okay? I think that's legitimate and it works when you're facing Josh Dobbs and whoever else they've been playing. I'm struggling to come up with DTR. Okay, that's
Josh
fine.
Allen.
This is CJ Stroud, you guys. That Arizona game notwithstanding, I don't think he's going to go out and just hand the Broncos the win. They might have to actually earn this one. And I don't know if they can.
They don't need to win. They just need to cover 3.5.
Yeah, maybe. And like this line is telling me Houston is a couple points better than Denver, and I think they are. So I think maybe they are at least a couple points better than Denver. I hammered Denver last week. That was one of the few sides I did hit and really, really liked. But, dude, CJ Stroud is not going to give this game away like these other teams have been. And some of them are good teams. Like, it's the Chiefs, the Bills. They're giving these games away to Denver, sure, but it's not predictive. Like, it's predictive when it's DTR. This is CJ Stroud, and I don't expect it to continue.
So I think
the Broncos are going to have to do something.
So I think the one thing that is a little confusing to me, and I don't know why, is that Denver's getting absolutely no love in the market after this win streak. They got no love last week against the Browns. All these idiot fake sharps, Brett, you included, just lining up to take the Browns. This week, the line moves in the other direction after Houston looks pretty subpar last week and loses to the Jags. I mean, there was a lot of real bullshit referee stuff going on there.
The defense struggled.
But yeah,
with it,
they were
though.
just giving up chunks of yards. And yet the market is just absolutely disrespecting a Broncos team that's never been healthier than it is right now, whose defense has looked great. And I think that's predictive with Vance Joseph, who's a pretty good coach, and players that are pretty awesome in all three phases. And I just like getting the hook here in a spot where I think the whole world, Brett, is going to line up and take CJ Stroud, one of the most beloved players in the league, giving what looks like a very small number here.
Are they? I hope so. I don't know. Do people line up to take the hook here with the favorite?
I think people love Stroud. Weren't the Texans
They do.
insanely high last week? Haven't the Texans
They
been
have been.
insanely high multiple times?
Yeah. I mean, I've been taking every opportunity to fade this Broncos team because of what Mo talked about, the positive turnover differential during this winning streak. And this would normally be another spot where I'd want to fade them against a team that lost last week. But yeah, like you said, the market gave the Texans a bump here versus the look ahead. And I don't get it. I have these two teams very similarly rated, and Houston, Titus Howard's out. Dalton Schultz hasn't practiced this week.
At what point are these injuries going to come home to roost? On the offensive line for Houston. And now with these weapons, like Tank Dell has been banged up for multiple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Schultz, like you said, hasn't practiced yet. We've got backup tackles. George Fant, who I can promise you from laying two eyes on him for the entire season last year, is not good at football. So they need him to play, and he's hurt. So at some point, these injuries are going to start to pile up, especially those cluster injuries at tackle.
Yeah, because they can't stop anyone. So they're going to have to score points. And yes, it is Denver, but yeah, I don't know. I can't get to 3.5 here. So I'm on Denver.
Mo's other lone wolf, we stay in the AFC West as the Los Angeles Chargers travel to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. This was Chargers -4 on the look ahead. And despite looking absolutely inept in every phase of the game against the Ravens, this has extended to 5 because somehow the Patriots looked worse last week in losing outright to Tommy DeVito. and the New York Giants. Mo, all of us, granted with absolutely zero conviction, took the devil side here in New England. And you did not. You clicked, again, not with much conviction, but you clicked the Los Angeles Chargers.
I know that the Chargers are the fish side of the week. I mean, it has to be, right? But I don't know, man. The Patriots are... I don't even know who's playing quarterback for this team. I'm hearing Malik Cunningham is taking snaps.
Zappy's taking the
I mean,
one.
Zappy's taking how many times are we going to be fed this false narrative that Malik Cunningham could be the quarterback? It's been like multiple
I'm just
weeks
saying,
now.
like, that's the situation here. Like,
it's definitely Zeppelin.
The Patriots don't have a functional passing
It's definitely
game,
Zeppelin.
guys.
They don't have a functional passing game.
Patriots aren't a functional organization,
and
okay?
Pop Douglas isn't going to play. Something Booty, Kayshawn Booty, who they need to suit up, is a DNP today. What is this team? I'm with you, Mo, but you just, in a contest like this, you have to click New England. That being said, I don't think anybody's going to pick this game. This is going to be like 200 on each side.
No. What if Keenan Allen sits, though? I'm like, they have nothing left to throw. But the Patriots are so bad.
Yeah, I played under 40 and a half here, because if Keenan Allen doesn't go, what are these offenses going to do? And it's another injury for Keenan.
I'm done with the Patriots, you guys. I've lost real money on them multiple weeks. I'm done with the Patriots.
This quad injury for Keenan's a new injury. How many body parts is this guy going to be injured with this season? And he's their entire offense. But DP, above all, most importantly, the stealth tank is on. That Ryland missed field goal last week. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Thing of beauty. Are you excited to see Drake May in silver and blue next year in New England?
No. I mean, what do you mean? The only thing I want to see in New England this year, see somebody else at quarterback or coach. Like this guy needs to go.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable how
brat.
No, he's not spoiled. This is embarrassing. Do the Patriots,
dude?
I said the same thing.
It never in pro sports. I don't care if you're on the athlete side. I don't care if you're on the coaching side. It never ends well. It never ends well. Belichick is horrific right now. He's horrific as a GM. He's horrific as a coach. The entire, the whole problems, the gamut of the problems that are happening in New England are because of him. Yes, Mac Jones is bad. Yes, what do you mean? Who cares?
I'm just telling titles. Shut the hell up, man. I don't want to hear this.
I don't care about the titles.
It's the most emotion Brett's ever shown on this show.
And they won 6, bro. And then Brady won a 7th down in Tampa. So shut up with your 5, okay?
Tampa Bay.
Belichick is a disaster. Yes, I understand. The only reason I want Belichick gone is because he walks around like his shit doesn't stink, and the guy fucking sucks right now, okay? So get off the sidelines, okay? Go to your boat in the Cape and just leave everyone alone. You are destroying things.
That guy can do whatever he wants in that city for the rest of his life, and you guys are winners.
They are ready to tar and feather him, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. This is a major market. This is Boston. This is a major market. This is not. This shit don't fly, man. It does not fly.
This is Boston. Go yourself.
You guys are all idiots.
This is true. Donnie's right. It never ends well. Look at Popovich the other night. He gets on the mic to tell people to stop booing, and he ruined everything. Just boo louder.
How pathetic was that? That guy, Kawhi Leonard, is a bum.
He got cucked. He literally got cucked by Kawhi Leonard in front of the entire world, and the crowd booed louder. Incredible.
I'm so happy the crowd booed him. I'm so happy they didn't just bow down to Pop and applaud him for doing that. No, shut up, Grandpa. You look like an idiot out there.
Insane stuff. All right, let's move to the AFC East. For the greatest football team, travel up the I-95 corridor all the way up to the District of Columbia. And the Dolphins take on the Commanders, where the Dolphins were -7 on the look ahead and have extended all the way up to -9.5. And Brett Colson doesn't give a damn because he's got Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, and them boys against the Commies.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's my 2-pointer, but the Dolphins, all they do is step on the throat of bad teams. And this defense is very
Except
opportunistic
for the
now
Las
with
Vegas
Ramsey.
Raiders, which I beat the line by 5 goddamn points, and we did not get the cover.
I mean, it's Sam Howell and negative script. Like, Miami could just walk away with a 40-point win here. And would anybody be surprised? No. Is this going to be close?
Is Sam Howell ever comfortable in anything but negatives? This guy lives for negative script. His feet,
at this point, this 40-point win.
Hit the floor in the morning.
I don't think I'm surprised with anything with the Dolphins. I'm not that they're going to lose. I'm just not. I wouldn't be surprised if they win by 6 or if they win by 46. Like I think they're going to win. It's just like, how much do they care at this point?
If they win by 6, it's because they were down 21-3. That's how. I mean, they score at will against these crap teams, and I see that happening again here.
I don't know. I think this Dolphins offense is starting to slow a little bit. That Raiders game was
Tua
concerning.
Stinks,
Tua does stink. He's worse than Purdy, I think, because when shit hits the fan, like I see Purdy like make plays, right? Like break pocket, move, diagnose. If 1-2 is not there for Tua, he has no idea what to do. He just loses his mind and either chucks the ball as fast as he can in an errant direction or like, has Tua ever made like a positive scramble? For someone who's fairly athletic, like, has he ever maneuvered a pocket and like went forward for yards? That's just something I don't think in my mind's eye I've ever seen this guy do.
In his defense, he might be broken to do that.
Yeah, he might
now.
be terrified.
Like, he just be scared of it.
Sure.
I'm not doing it. I'm just going to fall down. No, not doing that.
For sure. But moreover, I'm just going to keep leaning into Howell variance. Like, every time the Commanders are double-digit dogs, I'm going to lean in. And if they ever start covering and those lines start coming down again, then I'm probably going to be off them. But as soon as the whole world thinks Washington can't do anything, Mo, this is when we just need to be on them and hope that we're on the good side of variance.
Yeah, I tried it last week. Whatever, it didn't work. I'm down to try it again. I mean, this is okay. Miami, guys, there's stats being thrown around. I see them on Twitter and whatnot about Miami's defense, and they're doing this and that since week 5. Look at who they've played since week 5. This is one of the all-time stretches of bad offenses you will ever find. The Panthers, the Patriots, the Jets. This is a meaningless stat. Okay? I don't care about this Miami defense, and they just lost maybe their best player. Jalen Phillips is a monster. Okay? He's actually really good. He's gone. And yeah, maybe their best safety, probably Javon Holland. He's very good. I don't think he's practiced this week. You got Tyreek Hill banged up. So yeah, gimme Washington. And give me Washington actually confidently. This is like one of the few sides I actually really like this week. The look-ahead line was 6.5. What did we see last week that we didn't expect? I mean, yeah, Washington got smashed. That was always within reason. And Miami, they faced the Jets, and they had multiple free touchdowns. Whatever. It's Tim Boyle, the worst quarterback in NFL history. That none of those results should move this market. I'm very confused by this 3-point move.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The Lone Wolves, I've got the Chiefs and Colts. Mo has the Texans and Chargers. Brett has the Fish. All right. I don't think anybody's going to be happy, but we reveal the card next.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Every member of the collective was 2-3 last week, which makes that 1-4 in the contest even more sour. But Brett's got the best record on the season, so he'll kick things off with a split contest, which tops his rankings.
I know someone's going to hate this one, but I've got Steelers by name the score.
Look at Don.
You're an insane person. Absolutely insane.
Kenny
They're going to win by 20.
Pickett
Easy.
minus all the points on the card.
They can't score 20. How are they going to win by 20?
Donnie's not wrong.
I mean, what? Like,
The thing about this game is there's definitely a path to the Steelers moving the ball very consistently, but it's by pounding the rock. So I don't know if they can cover a number like this by pounding the rock. But I definitely think they should be able to run the ball. Dude, their offensive line has looked great the last few weeks.
Need Jalen Warren. Please, Tomlin. Mo is up next. He's got a dog. We just discussed them. Who do we got, Mo?
I got Sam Howell, guys.
Back to the well with Howell. The formerly racial slurs, formerly football team, now Commanders. Back on the card. I'm up next, and I've got the fishiest pick thus far. There is not a double-digit number next to the New York Jets. So we have the Atlanta Falcons. We get to fade Tim Boyle. I'm ecstatic about it. It's annoying because in a week where there's only 13 games available, there's going to be a bazillion people on Atlanta, but I just can't pass up this spot where something Tim Boyle is expected to be competitive in a pro football game. Can't do it. DP's up next. Splashing in maybe a little devil. I don't know what the contest is going to do with this one. But DP, who do we got?
Titans. William Levis.
William
Baby.
Levis, the 17th. Cannot lay points with Gardner Minshew on the road. So I've been told. Point. Not plural. Point. So we've got an absolutely thrilling quadrant of quarterbacks so far. Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder. Wow, JSN. And that was pass interference. And William Levis to cap it off. Let's actually get a good quarterback on the court. On the court? On the card. Shall we?
The collective chooses the Denver Broncos.
Let's ride.
I was like who's this good quarterback he's talking about?
I was literally looking at my list trying to figure out what he was talking about, and then he said the Denver Broncos.
Let's ride, guys. Mo, you're not happy about this. This was your lone wolf.
I mean, no, you guys have your fun, but don't you dare call Russell Wilson a good quarterback. You better recant that. What are you talking about? He hasn't made a single play.
I mean,
I guess
he
made
might be good in
plays.
this league. This quarterbacks
Come on,
are horrific.
that Sutton throw might have been the best throw of the year.
He throws for 175 yards a week.
Let's ride. There is one game we have not discussed yet. It is the only consensus game of the week, and it's a very obvious selection from the collective, who is generally low on this team, I think. I have to check in with the boys, with Brett and Mo, who do power rankings for thelines.com. I'm assuming that neither of you had this as the number one team in the NFL. Look at Brett.
I think I have them fourth or fifth. Fifth.
Mo
fifth,
said
maybe.
on Beat the Closing Number that he ticked them down after last week.
Yeah, same.
Mo, where do you got them?
Well, I put Cowboys ahead of them, so I'm tied with Brett, 4.
So we're not surprised by this line. You guys out there, you're going to be hammered over the head at the end of this week into the weekend. 10-1, 3-point dog at home, blah, blah, blah. First time since blah, blah, blah. Trends. But at 3, and in a contest where we don't have to pay juice for that 3, I'm sure these 3s are going to be heavily juiced in real life. You have to click the Eagles. You have to take the 3 points. I think that's quite clear. I think the line is kind of fair, though. I think on their best day, the Niners are better than the Eagles by margin. And you look at an Eagles team that's coming off of 2 very difficult games against 2 of the best teams in the league. Yes, Brett, your Buffalo Bills are one of the best teams in the league. And they played how many snaps last week into overtime in the late window absolutely battled and bruised and have to come back and play a Niners team coming off of extra rest? This is not a good spot for Philadelphia. Who's got real American dollars? One of you got the number, both of you, right? Mo and DP? Or no, Mo got it. Mo got it before.
No, I didn't.
Somehow this opened as the Niners were a dog in spots, which is absolutely...
I have San Francisco in my account as an underdog.
Idiotic.
Yeah.
It's idiotic.
I'm so mad I did. I remember I said it in the Discord. I said the Niners are going to wax this team, this stupid-ass secondary for the Eagles. I went to bet it. The stupid sportsbook that I had money on didn't have the lineup at the time. I was so annoyed, so I just forgot about it for a couple days, and then I went back, and I was like, God damn it, now they're... What the hell? Now I'm like, I might just take the Eagles just because it feels like a little bit of an overcorrection. I mean, not a ton, but like, I don't think this should maybe get to the full 3, like, 1.5, 2, something like that. So I don't know. It feels like it's ultimately going to be a close game. If there is a blowout, though, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the 49ers blowing out the Eagles. I would be shocked if it's the Eagles blowing out the 49ers for sure.
I mean, there's so much here, Mo. You talk about rule of circled. How many times have the Niners circled this game after going there and losing their quarterback in the NFC title game last year?
Yeah, this is as circled as it gets. I mean, obviously, ended their season, stole their Super Bowl berth, maybe. I know that's what they think, and it might be true. And then, dude, I know this is going to sound crazy in a game between the Eagles and the 4, but like the Eagles, they can afford to lose this game. Like, this is not a high motivational spot.
I was going to say, isn't this is like feels like one of those NBA spots where you kind of just like throw some guys out there and go through the motions and like don't care about it, especially after what Rich was talking about earlier. You had that super long game last week, like all this sort of stuff. Like, I feel like the 49ers are going to be treating this like a playoff game, and the Eagles should just be like, we're 2 games up on you. Let's just
they don't need this game.
Eagles very soft schedule. Does it get softer from here? They've just gone through hell, or does it just stay hard? I know they play the Cowboys on the road.
I mean, it can't get any harder. I mean, it's been unbelievable.
I think they still have another couple hard games, if I remember right.
They got Cowboys next, Seahawks, Giants, Cardinals, Giants. I mean, sit everyone. Don't even show up.
DK touchdown, but I see a flag. It's on the defense. Let's go Rich's best ball.
Wow.
Geno DK stacked. Yeah, and they're just going to play this game again in like a month and a half, right? For much larger stakes. So for the Eagles, not only do you get to rest guys, but you also don't want to show your hand, right? Like, if you have scheme and stuff set up to actually beat the Niners, why would you show it now in a spot that doesn't matter when you're going to play for much higher stakes in a couple of weeks? So for the contest, we all clicked Eagles, but I think we're all leaning Niners in some way or fashion. If you can get this, what stinks is if you get it under 3, you're going to be paying juice for the 2.5, and if you take the 3, you're going to be paying juice for the 3. So this is probably just one, boys and girls, where you're just going to want to sit back, relax, maybe find a live opportunity during the game if you see something, but just enjoy it. This is going to be a good football game on a slate that is otherwise very uninspiring. Before we wrap, let's talk Survivor. Mo writes one of the most popular Survivor columns on the entire internet. Where are we going if we survived last week, Mo?
Did we survive last week, Brett?
I've got one entry left with like 50
that's
people
all you
left
need,
on
kiddo.
DK.
All right. You got Miami still or no?
No. No. I'm looking at Steelers or Jags this week. I kind of want to play Steelers. I love the Steelers.
Obviously you do. You think they're going to win by 80 points. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Jags is probably the play. I mean, I don't know how they can lose a home game to Jake Browning, but
the thing is, you can use Jags in week 18 when some of the better teams might rest players in week 18. I think that's why I'm leaning Steelers.
Especially everyone is going to have Pittsburgh next week. Everyone that has them available is going to have Pittsburgh. They play New England at home. Yeah, that is going to be a heavy owned spot.
And I still have Niners, so I was going to play Niners next week when other people don't have Niners. So yeah, I think that's why Steelers is the play for me this week. It really depends on what you have left.
Who do the Steelers have week 18? Because there's some of these fringe playoff teams. Like, who do the Rams have week 18? Like, some of these fringe playoff teams that are going to be in contention that might just be playing the absolute.
Steelers are on the road against the Ravens.
But is that going to be...
Rams
are on the road against the 49ers.
That's what I mean. Like, is that going to be Sam Darnold? Is Baltimore going to have... Is it Huntley? Like, are these guys even going to be playing for anything? But can we cap for that at this point? It's tough.
I like Chargers and Bucks. I'm sorry.
Not play the Chargers.
What is the cap?
I still like Bucks.
What is the cap? The Chargers are gonna Charger. That is the cap.
You only have to take 18.
Story. Shout out ODB
18, right?
every single week.
All 32.
You know, 100%. No one has been more vocal that the Pats stink more than me, except for ODB. And also, he also bets the Chargers every single damn week. And you know what's going to happen. Come Sunday, that group chat that we're in, Chargers gonna Charger every time. This is the cap. Why do I do this to myself? 100% happening.
You're 100% right. All right. Well, Brett, we'll be sweating you on in Survivor. Let us know so we can try to sweat you home. The card... Once again, for those of you listening and can't see it in the graphics, the collective have the Broncos. Brett has the Steelers. Mo has the Commies. I've got the Falcons. DP has the Titans. Week 13, baby. Follow these guys on Twitter at Brett Colson, COLLSON, at Donnie_Peterson, at Mo Nuwara, NUWWARAH. I'm at Rich T. Ryan. Best of luck in your betting ventures. We'll see you next week. Peace.